Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your girl Linda from Run Naturally, and we are here this morning to discuss something that is very critical because right now we are in the final week, we're in race week for Marathon Bahamas Virtual 2021. And so the time is definitely winding down, where Sunday is actually the last day for participants to complete their desired race distance, the race distance that they would have signed up for the race. And so for our run group, we have actually committed to run the half marathon this coming Saturday, which is January 16th. And so with that being said, today is the perfect opportunity to talk about the half marathon taper, okay, and what exactly that entails, all right? And so, guys, you want to make sure if you want to stay consistent in getting my content, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, okay, so that you don't miss out on any of my video uploads. And then the second thing I definitely want to highlight now is that Run Naturally's website is live. So that is definitely something you want to check out. So you can go on and head to www.run-naturally.com, okay? And you can definitely see all of our content. Our social media links are on there, in addition to my blog, Run Inspired, and everything that is happening with Run Naturally Run Group. Okay, so just want to make sure, get those points out of the way before we get into the 5 points of the half marathon taper. Okay, so just briefly want to touch on exactly what the taper week entails. So in a nutshell, what tapering is that week, that period that's leading up to your race, whether it be your half marathon or your full marathon. And those are really the two distances where a taper is actually recommended or required. For shorter distances, such as 5K, obviously, and 10K, the taper really doesn't come into play for those particular distances. So we're really talking about those long distance races. And what the taper does is really it gets the body prepared for the rigors of actually competing in a long distance race without really overdoing it, okay? And so it's almost like a dress rehearsal, let's say, for lack of a better word, for that week. And it's really about getting your body in the best possible position to really, like I said, take on the rigors of a long distance race, okay? And so that's really what the taper is all about. And so I am going to share 5 tips on really navigating through a successful taper week, okay? So the point number 1, you definitely want to decrease your mileage and the intensity of your runs in the week leading up to your race, okay? And so this is the week now. For example, I mentioned that my group is doing the half marathon on Saturday. So this now is the week to drop the mileage a bit with the group and to definitely drop the intensity of the workouts that we're doing for the group this week. So this week is all about short mileage runs and keeping more on that recovery pace for this week. It's all really about keeping the muscles warm, keeping the muscles engaged, but not overdoing it, okay? So that's the first point. You're decreasing the mileage and you're decreasing the intensity of the workouts. That's point number 1. Point number 2, you're definitely going to decrease the weights if you're doing strength training. So let's say, for example, for me, I typically train with 15-pound weights. So for this week, what I'm going to do is to drop, like I said, the actual amount or the size of the weights, or just eliminate the weights completely. And if when I'm doing strength training this week, just focus really on body weight exercises. And the reason for that is that on race morning, you definitely don't want to go into race morning with muscle soreness, okay? From, heavy lifting or those really high intensity strength training workout. Like I said, you definitely want to keep, obviously, some form or some semblance of a strength training workout without having to feel, like I said, that soreness that tends to come from doing a really hard strength training workout. So you definitely want to drop those weights for strength training in the week leading up to a half marathon or a full marathon. Okay, guys? And so the third point, you definitely want to increase your carbohydrate intake, very commonly known as carb loading. Okay? I'll be honest with you, confession time, that is actually one of my favorite parts of preparing for a race. My favorite part of the taper week is getting in those good carbs without really feeling, the guilt of actual carb loading. And what that does is it actually prepares the body for long distance racing by storing energy. Okay, so that's really what you're doing with the carb load. Okay, so what you're doing is you're storing energy. You're putting energy in reserve that you are going to ultimately deplete during your race, during your long distance race. Okay, so it's basically what I call banking energy. All right, banking energy. So what you're doing is you're getting in those carbs, carbs are being stored, and you are definitely going to absolutely deplete those carbs over the course of a 13-mile race, or of course a 26-mile race. So like I said, what you're doing for that is what I typically call banking energy. Okay, so you're increasing those carbohydrates, good carbohydrates, guys. Okay, so you can get in your whole grains, your whole grain pastas, your whole grain breads, your sweet potatoes, that sort of thing. So that's really what you're looking at. You're getting in your good pastas, like I said, good carbs, quinoa, all of that good stuff. Like I said, banking that energy in preparation for your race morning. And which brings me to point number 4, you are increasing hydration, definitely. Okay, so getting in water, on your normal day-to-day routine is important. But when you're getting ready to prepare for a half marathon, full marathon, you definitely want to increase the hydration. And water is fine, like I said, if you're good with just taking in the water. But what I personally love to do, I love to get in hydration with electrolytes. So this is where your vitamin water comes into play. I know it's not, the taste of it may not be, pleasing to everyone, but I personally love it. I love the vitamin water. That is my beverage of choice leading up to a half marathon or full marathon because it has everything. It has the vitamins, it has your electrolytes, like I said, and again, it's hydration. So it's absolutely something that I love. If you're not crazy about the vitamin water, you can always just get regular water and just use the noon hydration tabs. Just drop them in the water. Absolutely. Same, if not a better effect when you're talking about getting in hydration. Okay, so you can use, like I said, the noon hydration tablets that you just drop in your regular water. Drink that down, you'll be good to go. And of course, if you're fine with sports drinks, you can get in some sports drinks throughout the course of the week. I wouldn't take the sports drink in the same way that I would take in the vitamin water where I would drink daily, but definitely those are your form of the electrolytes as well. Okay, so you're talking about, like I said, increasing the hydration. And the last and final tip for really navigating through a successful taper week is getting adequate rest the night before your run. It is so important, guys. Like I know for me, I've been doing competitive long distance now for 4 years, and I always get jitters the night before a race. I don't know why. It's just the excitement, the adrenaline. It is what it is. And sometimes it makes it difficult to get a good night's sleep. But as much as it is within your power to get a good night's sleep the night before your race, do that. So the night before your race, no spending hours and hours into the night on social media, posting, watching TV or videos. You want to make sure that you have everything that you need prepared for race morning so that the morning of, you're not scrambling around, you're not searching, or you may have forgotten certain things. You want to make sure that you absolutely have everything that you need, and so that you're able to rest, soundly and peacefully the night before the race. And so race morning, you're able to wake up, you're refreshed, you're good to go. You would have already had your warm up because you would have been getting in those sensible runs during the week. You would have been getting in those sensible meals during the week. You would have been hydrated. You would have been feeling good because you haven't been out lifting heavy weights and just, going Hulk, all right, the week leading up to your race. So those tips, you follow those, you should be in a really excellent physical state and mental state. Really, you're just all about really taking care of your body and really taking it easy, all right? Not too easy to the point where you're just resting and you're just, relaxing the week of. You definitely want to get in some form or semblance of a workout, but you're doing enough where your muscles are warm, they're engaged, they're ready to go, and you're feeling comfortable and confident race morning. Okay, guys? So those are my 5 tips for navigating through taper week. And if you have any that you personally use that I have not mentioned in this video, be sure to drop them in the comments section, okay? So with that being said, for those who have not run Marathon Bahamas Virtual 2021 as yet, and you're gearing up to run it this week or heading into this weekend, all the best to all of the participants. And if you have already run this holiday weekend, kudos to you. Congratulations, you guys, on a job well done. All right? So you guys make it an absolutely marvelous Monday and take care. Bye.